Vincent and Sabrina plan to get married at the end of the year. They come to you and asking for your advice on how to form a valid marriage. So, there are 7 requirements in order to form a valid marriage. The first requirement of a valid marriage is regarding to the age. According to Section 10 of the Law Reform Marriage and Divorce Act 1976, both parties to a marriage should be at least 18 years old. However, a female may marry if she is at least 16 years old and the solemnization of such marriage was authorized by a license granted by the Chief Minister. The second requirement is consent from the parties to the marriage and written consent from their parents or guardians if either of both parties are under 21 years old at the time when they marry. Failure to obtain the written consent from the parents or guardians of the parties may render the marriage to be void. Meanwhile, if either of the parties were found not voluntary to the marriage will be voidable. Next, the marriage requirement is the parties must not within the prohibited relationship. Relationship usually refer to the blood relations and also include half-blood or in-law relationship. Section 11, subsection 1 until subsection 5 of the statute has listed down persons to whom one cannot marry. However, there are exceptions when the Chief Minister may grant license for such a marriage if it is unobjectionable under the law, religion, or custom applicable to the parties as stated in subsection 6. For example, this section does not prohibit any Hindus from marrying his sister's daughter or her mother's brother under Hindu law or custom. The next requirement is not pure subsisting marriage, as Section 5 stipulates that all marriage for non-Muslim under this act are monogamous. Moreover, the parties to a marriage must be between different gender, which is biological, male and female. The gender determined at birth, and the law does not recognize any sections procedure either by surgical or medical means. The solemnization is also required to form a valid marriage. There are 4 types of solemnizations recognized under this act. First is marriage by certificate. Second is marriage by license. Next is marriage through religious ceremony. And finally, marriage abroad. The last requirements to form a valid marriage is procedures and formalities. Section 27 requires all marriage must be registered pursuant to the law. The duty of a registrar is to keep the marriage record. Although registration is a compulsory process, marriage solemnized prior to the coming of this statute, which did not require registration, was still recognized as valid marriage. After understanding all of the marriage requirements, Vincent and Sabrina must also learn about the vitiating factors which can affect the validity of a marriage. Section 69 of the Law Reform Marriage and Divorce Act 1976 has provided the grounds on which marriage is void. Firstly, according to Section 69A, the validity of a marriage can be affected due to the pure existing marriage of the parties. Polygamous marriage is not allowed for non-Muslim in Malaysia. The second vitiating factor is stated under subsection B, when the parties does not reach the age of 18 years and fail to obtain the special license from the Chief Minister to get married. The third vitiating factor under Section 69C is the parties are within the prohibited relationships. For example, they are sister or brother, former spouse of another party grandparent, and between a father and his adopted daughter. Lastly, Section 69D provides that the marriage will be void when the parties are not respectively male and female. In conclusion, Vincent and Sabrina must fulfill all the requirements to form a valid marriage, and all of the vitiating factors should be avoided from affect the validity of their marriage.